This is not developing well. No, 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 no. Ah.
What's up, Jet Team? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Ryan. I'm a former F-15E combat fighter pilot, F-16 Thunderbird pilot, and I use that experience to break down aviation videos, stories, and subjects that you can send my way on Instagram. And over the past 6 months or so, I've been getting a ton of messages about the Ghost of Kyiv, what my thoughts on it are. So today we're gonna be breaking down some dogfight footage from DCS, from Growling Sidewinder, that involves the Ghost of Kyiv potentially flying a MiG-29. Now, obviously, we know Ukraine has come out and said, you know what, this wasn't one dude who's this ace who's gotten over 40 kills, but it's a combination of different pilots, surface to air missiles, and other things that are racking up all these kills. But stay to the very end of the video, because throughout I'm gonna be telling you about my experience of flying with the Grey Wolf, who is a Ukrainian Su-27 pilot. He was a demonstration pilot for Ukraine. I got to fly in an air show with him in London in 2017. Just a super solid pilot, definitely incredibly well respected in the aviation world. So I'll give you some stories about him throughout this video. But before we do that, if you would just dominate that like button, maybe even subscribe, just because it feels good. And every time you do, a pilot somewhere gets their wings. Let's dive into these dogfights. It's gonna be the MiG-29 going up against either the Su-27 or the Su-35. It's about to get real. Here we go. MiG-29 raging in, and the Fox 2 Seeker is what that big circle is, looking outside, trying to get that thing to lock on. Now, I don't believe this has an HMD, but it might actually have an HMD where he could pull that Seeker outside of the HUD and actually lock on off bore sight. So we'll see what kind of tech this MiG-29 has as it goes into the merge. Obviously, man, dogfighting in an urban environment, urban area can definitely be to your advantage if you stay low like the MiG-29 is. There's a merge, I believe it's a Su-27. And yep, see, you can see the Seeker is locking on off bore sight, which is great. So it's showing you where that Fox 2 Seeker is looking. Nice flares. Okay, they're gonna min range each other's missiles there. So if you're in tight, you shrink the WEZ, the weapons engagement zone, and that's what you wanna do. You wanna basically stiff arm that missile. Another Fox 2 there, looks like it was pulled off by the sun. Again, this is a quick, fast-paced dogfight. They call it a knife fight in a phone booth for this very reason. So that's gonna be a high angle shot. Yeah, good job not shooting from the MiG-29 there, because that would have been a waste of a missile. It was just too high aspect, and that opportunity would be very fleeting. This looks like a way better shot right here. Come on, baby. Nice. Got him. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Way to be patient. If you guys noticed, there was a shot prior to this that could have potentially wasted his missile. Didn't take it. He waited and got a better shot. Now we're checking out the stadium view here. A lot of flares there coming off the MiG-29, where it doesn't look like the nose of the Su-27 was threatening. So got to be careful on that as well. You don't want to waste flares. That was that min range there of the WEZ. Real nice. That's the goal. With one circle fights especially, you want to min range that WEZ. There's the Fox 2 getting pulled off by the sun. Hey, can't win them all, man. Sometimes that sun's going to be right there and you got to try it anyway. But if you can hold that shot, cool. But things are through the floor at this point. It's going to be really hard to hold that shot. And then that one, just a little bit too tight on that. Let's see if he's got another shot coming up here. Okay, nice. Yeah, so that was the shot there. So he did take that second shot. He didn't hold it. I couldn't tell from the previous footage, but hey man, when you're in a dogfight like this, sometimes, yeah, the sun might be there, but you shoot anyways, or the WEZ is gonna be min range, but you shoot anyway. Ask me how I know that. Many a times in training, I was debriefed by instructors for taking shots that maybe didn't have the best probability. Obviously, this was a really good shot right here. And it just seems to me like this MiG-29 pilot, Growling Sidewinder, what's up, man? You're being very patient, which I like. I really think if you're patient in a dogfight and you wait for the winning cues and then you take your shot, you're just gonna have a much better chance of success. And then he does the aileron roll at the end. Priorities, guys. Do a victory aileron roll, sound cool on the radio, and look strong by the pool. 3 keys to fighter aviation right there. Gotta do the aileron roll. I mean, why not? All right, here we go. Let's dive into round 2. So I'll tell you a quick story here as he's going in low level in this MiG-29. So the Grey Wolf was a pilot that I got to fly in the same chunk of airspace with during the Royal International Air Tattoo, which is an air show in England. It's outside of London, a little town called Fairford. And actually that year, Alexander Oskinchenko, the Grey Wolf, he won Best in Flight for the entire air show. So I was flying for the Thunderbirds. The cloud deck was extremely low. We were able to pull off a flat show. He rolled in and did over the top maneuvers by finding little places where he could actually punch through the clouds and do that. Just super solid pilot. Again, really well respected. And that year he got that trophy for Best in Flight. So it was really cool to be able to meet him. Got to shake his hand, talk to him. You could tell he's just one of those tried and true pilots who's just like a pilot's pilot. Everyone wanted to talk to him. People wanted to be around him. Now we're jumping into the merge here. I'm wondering what they're going to bring out. If it's going to be Su-27 again or Su-35. Looks like potentially a Su-35. I can't, honestly, sometimes it's hard to tell. The way that thing's maneuvering, it looks different from the previous one. So I'm going to say, okay, it is a Su-27. Yeah, that's definitely not a Su-35 for it to make that, to be in a get shot down that fast. Hey, nice job. So here we go, guys, going into the merge. Let's see what it is. Could be a Su-27, could be a Su-35. MiG-29, though, can turn and do one circle fights relatively well. I would say it's kind of like a Viper, except a Viper that can do one circle fights well. That's a Su-27. I'm just going based off the paint scheme right now, because that's what a typical Su-27 that I've seen, the paint scheme looks like, and it's not using any thrust vectoring. So yeah, that's the Su-27. Nice shot right here. Oh, dude, he did like the upside down shot. That was like the trick shot. I love it. I love it, man. Well played, sir. You know, in real life, is that shot gonna actually be able to be pulled off? Maybe. I mean, the big thing is just getting your seeker, getting that Fox 2 seeker locked on. And sometimes, yeah, you might need to bunt a little bit, roll, shoot. Here's a stadium view, nice one circle fight, min range, both of those Fox 2s right off the bat. Woo, baby, pulling out right there at the bottom, the MiG-29. And nice reversal. So essentially, he did an over-the-top reversal there. And to me, the Su-27, it almost looks like it's not respecting the authority of that MiG-29. You must respect my authority. That's what the Su-27 needs to say to the MiG-29. Looks like a bit of a lazy dogfight from the perspective of the Su-27. But again, the MiG-29 as well, it kind of does a one circle fight and then bottoms out. One circle fights, guys, low to the ground like this, intense, insane, because you're essentially dogfighting the ground as well as the other jet. Let's see, we got a victory aileron roll. But when you're dogfighting the ground, it can be extremely distracting. So props to that MiG-29 in that instance. Well played, sir. All right, here we are. We're diving into the third round. I'm thinking they're gonna bring the Su-35, just because I know it's gonna be one of the two. We've gotten two Su-27s. And sometimes if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So when you're going up against other jets and you're dogfighting, knowing what you're gonna face kind of early on, getting that information from different sensors, getting it from an AWACS, someone telling you what you're gonna fight, it's huge. It just it changes the dogfight. And I think another thing of what it does is it just kind of makes you just kind of take a breath, because it takes one more variable out of the dogfight. And again, being low like this, even though it's risky, because you need to really focus on being down low and avoiding the terrain, it's hard to look at your radar. It can be good to have ground clutter behind you. All right, so a ton of flares dumping out of this jet. Good track there with the seeker, but that's gonna miss. Let's see, this thing, that's a Su-35. Yep, just the way that it's twisting its nose like that. It's got thrust vectoring capability. So this is gonna be a sporty dogfight, to say the least. And then pointing your nose that far downhill, that close to the ground, that takes some cojones, man. Yeah, the way that this thing's min ranging the MiG-29's shots here, whew. It's gonna be a rough day for this MiG-29, man, but he's staying alive right now. But as you can see, just the way that the thrust vectoring changes these fights, it's it's night and day. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one to dodge right here. So what I would be doing in that instance is something that I would actually train to as well when you're in a dogfight and you know you're losing. In that position right there, it's lucky that he was able to get out and eject. Nice job. I'd have a hand, I would set the throttles, probably max AB, and then I would have a hand on my ejection handle just in case. And then I would be braking to try to avoid that missile. So up and over, basically BFMing, dogfighting the missile. Not anything that you would look forward to. Not anything you wake up and say, oh, I want to dogfight, I want to BFM a missile today. Yeah. And then you get the Su-35 showing off, adding insult to injury. It's like, come on, bro, you already shot me down. You don't have to do aileron rolls around my parachute. Like, what are you gonna do, date my girlfriend as well? Ah, man, Su-35, getting cocky. Hopefully the MiG-29 can redeem themselves in follow-on fights. But again, it's great to see the pilot get out, and that's a lucky ejection there, because that close to the ground, a lot of things could go wrong. The aerodynamics of your aircraft not flying anymore. I mean, if you eject flying forward, cool. If you eject with the plane basically in a flat spin, a lot of bad things can happen. Let's ask Goose about that one, shall we? All right, let's dive into round 4 and let's see what the enemy brings. Now, you guys, you always got to fight what you see. So fighter pilots will always say, fight what you see, fight what you see. Don't try to cheat. They're showing this pilot up here. This is a Iranian pilot, had 11 kills in an F-14. So kind of comparing that to the Ghost of Kyiv, you know, having 6 kills or 40 kills, you know, whatever the rumor was at the very beginning. Obviously now we know it's a bunch of different pilots, but if you break down 40 kills, you could have a lot of aces out of that. There's just going to be a lot of investigation that's going to need to happen to see, you know, who are the aces. I'm sure there's aces over in Ukraine by now, definitely. And a lot of the surface to air missile operators are going to be aces over there potentially as well, because they're getting a ton of kills. All right, here's the merge. Let's see, a lot of flares coming out of the MiG-29. That's a quick shot. This is a Su-27. Yeah. Dang, nice kill, man. Again, dogfights can happen like that. Dogfights can happen fast. So taking every opportunity to get a shot in is the way to go. Well played. And the MiG-29 is just a formidable jet. I mean, the thing can turn. You know, you get up and you try to turn with this thing and you think, you know, the avionics aren't that good. I got this MiG-29. You find yourself in trouble. The MiG-29 spitting out a ton of flares right there unnecessarily. And that's something that you can do in a dogfight, is waste your flares and then you have nothing left. Look at the gunshot coming out of that Su-27 at the end. I like that. Even though you got shot down, bro, you're still fighting to the very end and you ejected. I like that. The pilot's like, you know, he's like in midair. He's like, even though you shot me down, I'm taking you with me. Brrr. Gotta keep fighting. And that's actually exactly the mindset of a fighter pilot. That's what you would be thinking. You'd be like, I don't care if my jet's turning into a million pieces right now. You're going down, bro. Brrr. So well played. And again, it comes down to that mindset of dogfighting and never stopping, never giving up. Here we go into round 5. Again, I kind of was hinting at it before, but when you're coming in this low, it's really hard to run your radar and avoid the terrain. In this case, avoid the apartment buildings as you're running in. So for me, even though, yeah, down low, you're gonna get a lot of cover because the buildings around you help kind of camouflage you, I'd be up a little bit higher, probably at least 500 feet, just so I could be running my radar, because lose sight, lose the fight. And if you've got your radar locked and you keep it locked the entire time all the way into the merge, you will not lose sight. But if you lose sight, and again, you're gonna be like BFMing these buildings as you come in. If you lose sight at that merge, you're dead. Ask me how I know that. Merging when you're blind is not the best technique, but this looks cool, flying this low. I mean, definitely looks good for the video. Ooh, we got a Su-35 on our hands, boys. Oh man, not gonna be an easy day today. But hey, who wants an easy day? You know, you gotta have a challenge. Do it for the story. All right, here we go. Got a good Fox 2 track. Well, not quite because of the sun. I think the sun's gonna pull that one off. Good flaring out of the Su-35 though. You know, that's good situational awareness. But again, putting your nose that low to the deck when you're this low is dangerous no matter what jet you're flying. But having thrust vectoring, obviously gonna help pull you out of a bad situation. So here we go. MiG-29 is trying to get nose on. These are losing cues. So again, hand on the ejection. Try to BFM that. Oof, I don't think he's gonna get out of this one. Yeah. Man. RIP, brother. But yeah, in this case, you gotta BFM this missile. Flares are good, but ultimately you need to level the wings out, have a hand on the ejection handle, pull 9Gs, try to BFM that missile. And yeah, it's gonna kill all your energy, but you gotta fight what you see. You gotta fight that missile. Ultimately, fights like this down by the deck, it's the risk you take. You know, you might not have the opportunity to eject. So as we like to say, this is when things get real. Down here, down this low. And then the Su-35 is like, not only did I shoot you down, but I'm also dating your sister. That's what it means when they do this turn around you when you're in your parachute. It's gonna make you wanna get them back once you get back in a jet again, you know? So don't get too cocky, Su-35. And if you date my sister, you better treat her right. All right, here we go, round 6. Let's redeem ourselves, MiG-29. We got this, we got this. All right, again, coming in low, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, again, when it comes to the Ghost of Kyiv, Ukraine has already said, hey, it wasn't one pilot, it was a formation, it was a squadron, all the combined efforts of the Ukrainian Air Forces. And that's how I would feel taking a 4-ship of Strike Eagles out. It wasn't gonna be just one of us that was the star of the show. It was gonna be all 8 of us. So we've got 4 pilots and 4 Wizzos in our 4 ships. We would go out, we would train, we'd fly in combat together. And ultimately it wasn't about who got to shoot the missiles or drop the bombs or shoot the gun. It was about winning and achieving that mission together. So that's kind of what this narrative has become. The Ghost of Kyiv has just become a narrative for you put all your efforts together. It's better than just one singleton out there raging around. Let's see what we got here, guys. We got the merge. It looks kind of blue. I'm gonna say Su-27. Ooh, did he get it? Oh yeah, I think he must have got a gunshot. Yeah, because his Fox 2 missed. That's definitely a Su-27 to not get out of plane like that. And then nice Fox 2 follow-up, a good follow-on BFM. That's what you gotta do. You can't be so surprised like, oh, I hit him, great. Because then you're gonna take a Fox 2 to the face, bro. All right, here we go, close-up shot of the gun. Again, I like the quickness. So Fox 2, you know it misses. Hey, he's flying through your HUD. No one flies through your HUD free. That's what we would always say. There are no free flights through my HUD, bro. You fly through my HUD, there's gonna be some 30 mil coming at you in the case of the MiG-29. In my case, it was 20 millimeter, but one of these hits from a 30 millimeter weapon, especially with a high explosive incendiary, that's gonna destroy the tail section of a jet. And then nice follow on Fox 2. Glad the pilot got out. Give him an aileron roll. Come on, give him a little aileron roll. He dated your sister and now you shot him down. So, you know, he got cocky, got arrogant, didn't treat your sister right. This is what he gets. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that Ghost of Kyiv simulation. Now, obviously, it's been proven that Ghost of Kyiv isn't real, as I've talked about before, as far as being one person, but the combination of everybody's efforts put together is what I saw actually win wars. So there can be one hero in individual battles, but when it comes down to ultimately a team succeeding, a squadron succeeding, an air force succeeding, a country succeeding, it comes down to working together and never quitting. Again, if you think of basic fighter maneuvers, BFM, as kind of a metaphor for an entire squadron, for an entire air force, you never stop fighting. You go to the very end, you keep going, just kind of how like when I'm landing a fighter jet, I'm gonna land that, I'm gonna fly that until I'm in chocks, because you never know what can happen. So prep, be prepared, and be a solid member of a team. That's what I get from the legend of the Ghost of Kyiv. Again, I just wanna tip my hat posthumously to the Grey Wolf. It was awesome sharing a chunk of airspace with you. And to you and to your family, I say blue skies. Jet team, thanks so much for being here. Before you go, please dominate that like button, maybe even subscribe. Every time you like and subscribe, you create a fighter pilot ace somewhere in the world. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Most of all, have a great day.